Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 42 of my Let's Play Pokemon Scarlet. And in today's episode, we are going to be taking on two more gym leaders. I have decided that for today, we are going to start off with the Alfornado Gym battling against Tulip. Let's go ahead and fly there. We do have to heal, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I continued to do so after I had that wonderful battle with Rhyme and the Rhyme Time. Double battles. Wonderful they are. So we're going to go ahead and heal up immediately. And then after we beat Tulip, thank goodness we don't have to do that emotional baggage again. Oh my gosh. After we beat Tulip, we are going to go straight to our next gym. So we're basically going to be doing two gym leaders an episode. Would not be a bad thing probably to do more than two per episode, but I think we'll be fine. Let alone the fact that I don't really care if we prolong this series or the series has a billion jillion episodes. I just don't want to do that purposely. Necessarily. Oh, if it isn't Zeke, it's been too long. Your beauty has become even more refined since the last time we met. You're too kind. Oh, accepting compliments with grace, I see. How wonderful. I hope you remain that way. So you're here in place of Geeta, are you? Just between you and me, I'm not exactly her biggest fan. That bewitching aura of hers overlaps too much with my own style. So it may be for the best that she sent someone else for the job. With you, I feel like I can really give this battle all I've got. Without further ado, are you ready to pursue quintessential beauty together? Sure, whatever that means. At least we do have something in common. We both don't like Geeta. Oh, wonderful. Let's head to the battle court. I'm not Geeta's biggest fan. Must say. The rush of exhilaration before a battle. Every cell in my body is humming with excitement. Having a totally amazing opponent such as yourself makes the feeling even more powerful. You know what? I'm really happy right now. A diamond in the rough that I helped polish is now sparkling as bright as the finest of gems. Seeing others working so hard allows me to work hard myself and never shed a tear. Sadness is not in my vocabulary, after all. The closest emotion I allow is the beauty of surprise. Allow me to teach you how to do true emotional spectrum practice. Sadness is not in my vocabulary either. I guess we do have quite a few things in common, Tulip. Though that's probably the only thing we have in common. Alright, so, you want to know the secret of my beauty? I'll enroll you in my most difficult hands-on course. Of course, we are not staying in against this psychic-type trainer. We are going to U-turn and defeat Farigiraf immediately. That's pretty nice. I kind of didn't expect much different because we do have +1 attack upon switching in, along with a 135 base. Like, that's pretty darn wild. Go, Meowscarada. Nope, we're going to keep current Pokemon in. So I have a pretty interesting trick that I can do with this, this battle as a whole. And it's literally just this. U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. And hello. Orichalcum Pulse. Sounds like such a cool name for an ability. Yeah, because one is fighting and one is dark, doing this U-turn strategy into one another is actually really hilariously brilliant, because they're going to use fighting or bug-type moves against my dark-type Pokemon, and my Koraidon either is neutral or resists that. So it's actually really smart, in my opinion. And we're just going to keep doing it. U-turn is my favorite switch move. Which is funny because I was thinking Shed Tail would be, but I don't know. Substitute is awesome, and being able to like throw a substitute in like that is really good, really cool. But it's also kind of crazy at times. All right, so we're definitely not switching into Crydon here because she's most likely going for a fairy type move. So Revavroom. Yeah, it should be quad ineffective, I think. We're going to shift gear. And then we're going to start spamming. Mystical Fire. My Orichalcum Pulse didn't exactly help with that either. Alright, so the Harsh Sunlight faded. We're going to bring in our Koraidon. Alright, so it was raining, and we're going to... It's still going to be raining? That's kind of weird. Alright, so Flare Blitz. Just take out that Gardevoir with our overwhelming fiery move. That Flare Blitz doesn't have real stab, but technically it does because of the sun. But the reason why I say it doesn't really is because, you know, obviously if we had stab, it would also be boosted with the sun. But it's a 180 base power move, basically, because of my having the sun automatically set out, and that's pretty fantastic. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and switch out into Meowscarada. Florges. We'll keep in. I'm shook, and not in a good way. Unpleasant surprises are not good for my skin. Alright. Not very effective, but we're still going to U-turn here. Come here, my little Florges. It's time for a skin cleanse. You'll become a new you. Well, now it's going to be super effective. I do like the mechanic of terrestrialization. I just don't like the way it looks, in all honesty. But the mechanic is solid. Being able to change your type is pretty wild, especially because of the examples that we saw, for instance, in the trailers that were before this game. Like, for instance, with the Tyranitar in the competitive trailer that was about to get hit by close combat from a Gallade, had terrestrialized into Ghost type, which was wild. I thought that was a cool and neat idea. Alright, so we're kind of breezing through these fights. I was hoping they'd be around level 70, but they're slightly less than that. However, in all honesty, I cannot help the fact that I'm slightly over-leveled, except for the fact that I could change out my Pokemon, but that's about it. A shocking glow-up, to be sure. 23 grand again. You're the total package. I expected no less. Beauty, strength, you've got it all. You know, in my line of work, people who lack talent in one area or the other often fade away quickly, never to be heard of again. Met with all kinds of setbacks, they fall into corruption in their desperation and end up even more miserable than the mundane do. It would be better for those people if they were never had even the slightest bit of talent to begin with. Don't fade away, Zeke. I want to see just how far your talent can go. This can be a promise between us. I hope you won't break it. You did splendidly today. Thank you for everything. Alrighty, so that is gym number 3. We're going to be taking on gym number 4. And right now, actually. Where we're going to go is all the way up north. Yes, we're going to be taking on Grusha's gym. Go ahead and heal up, shall we? Yeah, some would probably say that I'm kind of silly for giving Koraidon a heat rock for competitive. It kind of depends. I was actually thinking about that too. I don't know if I'll necessarily do just that, simply because if I gave him like a choice scarf or a choice band, he would probably just annihilate anything that he were to fight into, but I still haven't decided fully. Like, I'm not set in stone about how I'm going to exactly give all of my Pokemon what items and moves. However, I'm pretty well set in stone in their EV spreads, so that's why I'm not really concerned about what I do with that in general.
Huh, I recognize you. You here to hit the slopes? I don't recall the snow being too good today. I'm here to battle. Oh, for real? I've got something important to be dealing with in a bit, you know? Oh, I see. You're here to cover for Geeta. So your dream came true. You're champion rank now. You must be so happy. Oh, my bad. That sounded a lot more sarcastic than I'd intended. Don't get me wrong, I really think it's amazing, just it's complicated for me, that's all. Anyway, you came to test my skills, right? Let's just get this over with.
Sure.
Let's head outside. You'd best hope it's not snowing.
I mean, that would kind of hurt if it did snow, but I have a means of getting rid of your snow, so...
The weather's in your favor today, I guess. The snowy mountains decided to be kind. These league-mandated inspections happen a few times a year. If we don't show we're up for the job, we'll lose our positions as gym leaders. Geeta always says it's just a formality, but I've already had to give up on being a pro snowboarder. If she takes away the talents I still have to show, then what'll be left? Sorry, didn't mean to bring the temperature down. It's simply enough, really. All I need to do is make sure the power of my Pokemon chills you to the bone.
Alright, challenged by Gym Leader Grusha, Frostmoth.
Conditions are alright, I guess. Good enough to defeat you, anyway.
Alright, so I had a couple of things I had to say here. First and foremost, I started talking about the difference between I think this was the last episode, I don't remember exactly when I was mentioning this, but the difference between Koraidon and Miraidon's abilities. Miraidon gets that boost with using electric moves because of electric terrain, and can't be put to sleep, of course, which is cool, but Miraidon doesn't get a quote-unquote third stab unofficially. This is something that I've always thought was kind of weird about that. When I first found out about Koraidon and Miraidon's abilities, like, Miraidon doesn't actually get, like, truly anything out of that except for more damage. But electric moves, there's Pokemon immune to those. Like, a whole type is immune to them. So, it's kind of interesting. Miraidon, I think, got the short end of the stick there. I think Koraidon is definitely the better Mon. But I think they're both cool. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here is that our good friend Grush here is actually a hilarious example of something that almost all the Japanese who play this game cannot stand. And it is the quote-unquote politically correct look of a lot of the people and like the diversity pushing and stuff like that in this game. And like, it's a huge deal in Japan. I was looking up message boards about it the other day and even watched a couple of videos explaining the whole situation, and a lot of people are
severely mad. Pokemon Company has been getting hundreds of thousands of write-ins from all over the world, but especially in good old Japan, saying, look, we kind of want our games that are made by Japanese folks to represent Japanese folks and not like the freak sheiks and diverse Sikhs. You know, it's like I was so wilded about that because I would have figured that the Japanese had like a totally different opinion to that, seeing how absolutely abysmal anime is. Like, abysmal. Makes me want to gag. But no, it was really surprising to see that they shared the same view. And it's funny because, like, I cannot stand it. If Pokemon goes further with this kind of stuff, I am probably jumping ship, which is kind of a really sad thing to say, but I feel like saying that about Fire Emblem too. Fire Emblem has gone the way of perverts, and like, no thank you. Absolutely no thank you on that end. So hopefully these big companies or these big developing groups, Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Intelligent Systems, and especially Nintendo, who always has, in my opinion, at least for the most part, I can't say always, but for the most part has their heads on their shoulders right. I don't play Sony and Microsoft games because I don't want your politics in my games. Get it away from me. Far away. So, like, I didn't want to just rant about this, but I wanted to make mention of it because I thought it was kind of really humorous that I'm not alone in this factor. And what's even funnier about it is that I won't let things heat up any further. Time to bring the deep freeze. What's funnier about it is that the very people that these games are supposed to be catering to first and foremost are the ones who can't stand it the most. And secondly, most of them have no problem with the performance issues in this game. It's all just the stylistic changes and designs of the characters, and especially how, like, you've got like buff women and like really scrawny looking hippie men, and like all of it just so weird and abysmal. It's probably the thing I can't stand about this. Let it freeze, let it snow, let it pile on top of us. It's probably the number one thing I can't stand about this game. Like, performance issues be thrown out the window. I would rather this game have performance issues but look stylistically normal or natural than the other way around. Alright, is this going to be a 5-hitter? Poor Grush. The critical hit didn't matter at all. It being a 5-hitter was just enough to finish off the whole ordeal. Your burning passion. I kind of like it, to be honest. And we get 23 grand again. Man, Gita must really have it out for me, sending someone there's no way I could beat. Still, no regrets on my part. I gave it everything I had. I hit you full force, and I lost anyway. It made me feel frustrated. It makes me want to become stronger as a gym leader, put more of it myself into it. I thought my passion had frozen over, but you've rekindled it for me. Thanks, Zeke. I won't lose next time. Hopefully you'll lose that hairdo. Try not to catch a cold on your way down the mountain, eh? Alrighty. So, that's 2 more gyms we have defeated. And that means we're halfway through the gym series. Which also means we're going to be a couple more episodes before we find ourselves in what is the Ace Academy tournament.
I suspect most of the Pokemon in the tournament are going to be around like level 70 to 75-ish. That's my suspicion, but I have no actual belief or understanding of that because, again, I'm not spoiling this for myself. There's just no reason to. So I haven't bothered looking up most of this nonsense or rigmarole. There are some things that I have looked up, like, for instance, EV training. And in the guide for EV training, it specifically said that you really kind of want the Ace Academy beaten before you go all in on competitive battling. And most of that has to do with, like, the stuff that's opened up to you in, like, for instance, the Terra raids, as well as some items that are still locked behind that. Like, for instance, I believe it's the ability patch? It's either the ability patch or capsule, whichever one allows you to get the hidden ability of your Pokemon. I believe bottle caps and gold bottle caps are also locked away, kind of. You can buy bottle caps at Delibird Presents in some towns, I think, but it's not in all towns, so there is that. But with all that being said, I do want to apologize here. I'm not trying to push my political beliefs or anything like that. It's just like my whole issue is that I want wholesome gaming. Hello, anybody watching this out here with me, do you agree? Please comment down below. Do you agree? Whether you are more liberal or more conservative, do you think that you would prefer gaming as a whole if all of the political beliefs were just cut out? That's my thinking. Is like, I don't care. Cut them all out. I play gaming for fun. I have games for the experience, to get out of this dreary, dark, evil world that we're in, to escape it, a form of immersion and escapism. Is that not what games are for? How can you escape it? How can you escape it if you're constantly being pushed into it with every form of media there is? It's why I don't watch movies. It's why I don't listen to music. It's why I don't watch television and haven't in years. It's probably almost been 10 years since I've done either of those three things. Not kidding. Not kidding. Don't watch movies. Don't watch television. Don't watch music. Don't have Netflix. Don't have any streaming services. Period. I watch things on YouTube I like, and I play games. Those are my hobbies. And it's kind of like, okay, I am a little bit extreme on that. I know a lot of people, they'll break their standards or give up on some things so that they can still listen to their crap music. But it's like, still, with gaming, wouldn't it be better if our games weren't trying to push an agenda? What do you think? Alright, with all that being said, I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform. Comment and share. It's most appreciated. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.